Hello, welcome back to FunRover TV. It's been quite a while, it has to be said, since we were last in your subscription feed, but we've been busy. We're starting work on a customer's Land Rover build soon, which you can follow along with. We'll produce video just as we've done with our other one. This one is for sale though, and we wanted to give you a bit of a walk around of it, show you some of the features. We promised this video quite a while ago. So, as you can see, this is our Land Rover 90. It's been completely rebuilt. You can see videos, if you haven't already, online on YouTube. Basically taking it from stripped components to making it back into a finished vehicle. The goal with this project is to make it look as though Land Rover carried on developing the Series 3 to make a Series 4, and so we combined all our favourite elements of previous Series vehicles, Series 1, 2, 2A and 3, into one particular Land Rover, this one being a Defender TD5. The original vehicle had I think it was around 74,000 miles, so it's covered about 4,000 miles or thereabouts since we've rebuilt it. It was finished in March of 2016, that's last year now I guess. So we've resprayed the entire vehicle in, it's called pastel green. Some people confuse this with grassmere green, but this is the original Land Rover colour. Fitted spare wheel on the bonnet because we felt that was the kind of more traditional place to put them. And because this has got a TD5 bonnet, I actually added reinforcement to the bonnet to ensure that that was strong enough. It's got Series 1 bonnet catches on, these are traditional style rubber catches. I'll show you under the bonnet in a sec. If you move around here, we've got Wolf rims on here. These were painted in limestone sand colour, and we've added Goodyear Wrangler MTR tyres. Those are a Land Rover fitment, and those are what they used on the last few years of Defenders. They're a decent tyre actually. These are 235, 85, 16 size tyres. Then moving along here, we've added series doors. These are great doors. The reason we added these is firstly because they look very traditional, and that's what we wanted, but also it's a functional thing because when you take your soft top off, you can fold your windscreen down or just remove it completely. You can then remove the door top itself, and you can basically just run with a completely flat top, and it is just a joy to drive when it's like that. It's kind of like being on a quad bike or a motorbike. It's fantastic fun on a really hot day to be able to do that, and it only takes 15-20 minutes to do, so that's why we did that. And I think those doors look fantastic. They've got really cool sliding windows as opposed to your traditional wind up and down ones on newer Defenders, so that's why we fitted those doors. We put extra long wheel studs on, little finishes, little details like that. Those cost quite a bit to do, and a lot of people neglect to do it, but it's much safer if you have the longer wheel studs on, so we did that. It's got a brand new chassis, Richard's chassis, so it's a galvanised one. That was a direct replacement for our old one. We then painted that up in a black satin paint to match Land Rover's kind of OEM finish. So that looks fantastic, and that was our goal really with the whole project, to make it look as though it could have come out of the Land Rover factory itself. This soft top, this rag top, that came from Undercover Covers, and it's a really high quality soft top. I've been very impressed with that. So that's fitted onto some Exmoor trim hood sticks. Those are galvanised, and as I said, you can just unhook the roof, and in about 15-20 minutes you can have that off. You can have the hood sticks off, the windscreen folded down, and just have such great fun driving. Because we put a soft top on, we put a rear drop down tailgate, so that would be what would be fitted to pickup Land Rovers, soft tops from the factory. So you can just drop that down. We've got two chains fitted on this one with some leather covers on them, and I had that galvanised as well because I wanted everything to last as long as possible. I'll show you how to just roughly work the back of the soft top. This is how you gain access to the vehicle. You can do that catch, flap it upwards, or you can roll it up. There's lots of different configurations with this. I like to roll up the side sometimes if it's not too warm, but you just want a bit of fresh air in the cab. In the rear we fitted two Exmoor trim seats. Those have got a vinyl seat covering on that match the front seats, I'll show you in a second. And I've made these mats. They're just a ribbed rubber matting that looks really traditional, so nice and simple, nothing out of the ordinary in the rear. I've had all the body cappings galvanised, all these components here, just for a more kind of traditional look, and it ties everything together because around the vehicle we have a lot of galvanised components. All the lights are new, and we fitted more modern fog lights and reverse lights. I've put a brand new Dixon bait tow ball on, tow hitch, and that's also got, if you look under here, paddock spares galvanised fuel tank guard, just for a bit of extra protection if you want to go off-roading with that. Where it's made sense to, all of the fixings are stainless steel, but only kind of selectively, so I didn't want to cause galvanic corrosion or accelerate it in any way. So when we've added all the cappings and built the vehicle together, we've made sure to insulate nuts and bolts using barrier creams and insulating tapes and stuff, to just make sure that it's not going to begin to corrode faster than it would do. So all the rivets are new, all the fixings are new. It's basically like a brand new car, and I tell people the engine is original, but we did recondition it. The gearbox is original, but that was also reconditioned, so effectively you're getting an as-new Land Rover, and it's really great fun to drive. The mud flaps, those are just genuine Land Rover mud flaps with a coating on to give them the kind of retro yellow paintwork or yellow painting on them. I'm also including a registration plate, so if you have a trailer, caravan, boat trailer, whatever, you can use that. So that comes with it. Tyres are all, as I said, done very few miles, so that's good. Straight through stainless steel exhaust. This doesn't have a cat or anything because it's an older TD5, so it's a straight through exhaust, and it sounds fantastic. It's got a lovely burble to it. I'll turn it on in a minute and you can listen to that. Down the sides, got paddock spares, jackable sills, galvanised again to match our theme, but those really, I've been really impressed with those. They fit really nice and they work very well. They're also kind of useful as a step, and you've got the added benefit that if you ever need to do, you can just jack the vehicle up from the sides. You have brand new door hinges, new locks, new doors, everything that I could do and could afford to replace I did. It's probably cost in excess of £22,000 to build this vehicle. So that's not including my own time, labour and the labour of other people that help me. Put a Mud UK snow cowl on, because on standard Defenders if you get snow on the wing, it does reduce the heater output somewhat, so that doesn't happen any longer. And let's show you under the bonnet, just before I do. We've also got a heated windscreen there. The wiring for that is very simple. It's not actually wired in, but if you wish to do that, then you can do. So as you can see under here, everything's been painted. The bulkhead was all painted when the vehicle was disassembled because it was a colour change. I wanted to do a really good job of it, and I just think it's a poor do if somebody recolours a car but can't be bothered to do all the panels. This vehicle has been totally stripped apart and rebuilt, so we were able to get a paint coating on everything. The engine's been cleaned up, condition wise it's spot on. We repainted things, fitted new belts, replaced the pulleys. The alternator was reconditioned. A company called Roos Motorsport provided us with these superb, they're actually silicone hoses which have performance benefits over standard hoses, but they've still got a kind of factory look to them, so I really liked those. Those have been added. It's got an EGR delete on it, and also we've got a straight through exhaust as I mentioned, with a performance intercooler. Now the performance intercooler is from Paddock Spares, made by Circle Motorsport, and that should add some extra horsepower, and it really does drive particularly well, this Land Rover. All the underbody and engine components have been repainted, cleaned up, and we've done some corrosion protection on them. There's a few security adjustments that had to be made, so I'll tell obviously the winning owner about those. We've added conifer brake pipes, which are, I think it's a copper nickel brake line mix, just for corrosion protection. So we've tried to really think about how to make the best possible vehicle really, and it is a smashing Land Rover. It's got a brand new steering box fitted just down here. We replaced a lot of the pipes that perhaps didn't need replacing, but just to add to the overall look. It's got new engine mounts, new gearbox mounts, and this is just basically like a new old stock vehicle. Obviously it's been serviced when we rebuilt the vehicle, all the oils were replaced. We've got a heritage or series style grille, which if you want we can actually make those to sell with an old Land Rover badge. New headlights, stainless steel retainers on those, new lights here again, a galvanised military bumper which adds to our look, but also if you ever want to you can drop a pin in here and it can be used for on-road recovery. Underneath we've got a steering guard from Safari Equip. They're a fantastic steering guard because you have this 2-inch receiver, so you can put a tow ball in there, and if you have a trailer or a caravan then you can hook it up on site, move it around really nice and easily. Underneath we also have heavy duty steering arms fitted. It's got all new swivel housings, all the wheel bearings have been replaced, some of the hubs were replaced, I put performance brakes on, new brake calipers. If you're starting to get the idea that it's basically a brand new vehicle, then that's good, because it is. So we've also added Super Pro poly bushes, which improve the handling of the vehicle. It also means if you ever need to you can replace them more or less wherever you are. It's got new wing mirrors on. But this is really where this Land Rover differs from others. Inside, we've made it look as though it's a series Land Rover. So we've got kind of the body colour built-in dashboard that replaces the plastic one that they fitted to Defenders in when the 90s and 110s were launched. So everything's a bit more exposed, but it looks a lot more kind of vintage, which I think it looks really cool. I'm happy with it. We've got all the bulkhead flaps still working with these kind of retro style flaps. You've got heating vents. You can see all the ducting like you could on the lightweight Land Rovers. We added a great big steering wheel from a Series 3 Land Rover fire engine. That's makes driving, actually it's very comfortable on the motorway, but it looks super old school as well, which is why it's there. You've got matching rubber matting that complements the back. The seat belts were replaced. We've put Exmore trim retrim kits in grey vinyl to match the rear. So the seats have got new foams on. They're extremely comfortable for Defender seats. The seat box and tub, those had some repairs to them to remove corrosion. We put new panels in on the ends, and there's a new seat belt strengthening strip under there from YRM Metal Solutions. Door locks are all new. We'll provide you with 2 door keys and 2 keys for the ignition. And as you can see from the dashboard, we moved the instruments. They're normally about here on a Defender. We put them into the middle as per an older Land Rover. We've got a yellow and a red knob as a bit of a hat tip to the older series vehicles where you had selectable 4-wheel drive, and just gives it a kind of more traditional look. And got new windscreen wipers on. These hinges had to be added for the windscreen because we didn't have those with it being a newer vehicle. We've put on some aluminium pedal covers, or not pedal covers, they actually are pedals themselves, again to kind of create a more industrial agricultural look. The entire interior has been painted the same as the outside, so it does actually look very much like a Series 2 from the inside. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else we've done, apart from obviously repairing anything that needed to be, replacing anything else. The wiring loom that was inspected, found to be in good condition, so that's good. Replace the injector loom because that's a common problem with these. Let's start it up for you, so you can hear it running. Going to go around to the exhaust. Start her up. Got plenty of power underfoot, lots of torque if you want to do any towing, and it sounds fabulous as well thanks to that straight through exhaust. It's a bit of a head turner, this vehicle. Great driving experience. So that's our Tribute Land Rover Defender. It's for sale now. As we said, check it out on eBay. If you want a Land Rover building, get in touch with us. We have availability from about 6 months, or in 6 months' time, so kind of the middle of 2017 we should be able to take another project on. We work a bit differently to some of the other building companies. We literally produce almost as new vehicles, and so obviously it does cost a little bit more, it's a bit more select, but we do kind of produce renderings and concept drawings for you so you can see what your Land Rover will look like before it's actually being made. That takes a bit of time to do, but it enables us to create some really unique Land Rovers. So stay tuned, you can watch the video series as we build our next project for one of our customers.